How bizarre is it when somebody who runs an NGO for children with special needs goes through an unfortunate incident where her own child, a 5.5-year-old, is denied an Aadhar card and asked to return to the organization when she is normal? Hello and welcome to Mojo Story. This is Priyali Dhingra, and today we will be speaking to Shraddha Soparkar, who is a resident of Gujarat, and a 5-year-old daughter affected by cerebral palsy recently went through an incident where she was denied an Aadhar card and asked to return when she was normal. We'll be going to Shraddha now. Hi, Shraddha. Thank you so much for joining
Hello.
us. For your audience, could you, first of all, we're very sorry for what happened and the fact that you were allegedly denied by, your daughter was allegedly denied an Aadhar card by one of the biggest banks in India. Please do tell us what exactly happened, how things went down, and please divulge into the details of the incident.
So if you want me to narrate the incident, what happened is that we went at IndusInd Bank and I came to get Aadhar card of both my kids. One is Yuvraj, who is 7.5, and my daughter, who is 5.5. So after Yuvraj's finger and eye scan was over, we started with Shruti. Because Shruti is suffering from cerebral palsy, and most of the kids who are even a bit mentally challenged, it's difficult for them to focus their eyes immediately on the eye scanner. And because the kid is not understanding the instruction, uh, you know, it's difficult for the kid to really focus in one go. So it takes a little bit of patience. Uh, so the girl who was there, she got irritated after a couple of tries that, hurry up and, you should just. So I said, ma'am, it will take a little bit of time, or you can totally skip the eye scan because that is what is done with blind people. Because many of the people who are affected by brain damage, their eyes are severely affected. And Shruti doesn't have so much of a damage, but other kids who would have more damage, would be impossible for a kid to really concentrate on the eye scanner. So then she, banged the machine, and then she was like, ऐसा आप यहाँ पे मत आइए, and अभी आप ये बच्चे को नॉर्मल करके लाइए, फिर बाद में आधार कार्ड बनेगा. So I very categorically told her कि मैडम आधार कार्ड से मेंटल डिसेबिलिटी का कोई भी संबंध नहीं है. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट आज अगर कोई भी बच्चा मेंटली चैलेंज्ड हो तो क्या उसको आधार कार्ड नहीं दिया जाएगा? आधार कार्ड तो हर इंडियन का राइट है. सो शी सेड नहीं, नहीं होगा. So that really irked me. Even the people standing in line behind me got really upset that this is not the way. And I felt that we being belonging, we are a corporate client of IndusInd Bank. We are there for make money. In spite of that, if we are being treated this way, तो गरीब लोगों का तो क्या हाल करते होंगे? So I am more worried about that part.
I understand. And how, as a mother and somebody who is in this profession, how affected were you when they asked you to return when your child was normal?
So this is obviously unasked for, uncalled for, because a child with CP, this is the painful. This is like pinching at the pain point. A child with CP would never be normal because cerebral palsy is a disease which has no. Of course, there are exceptions. But I told her that, मैडम ऐसा नहीं होता है, ये बच्चे हर बार नॉर्मल नहीं होते हैं. But it was a very rude behavior. It was uncalled for, and obviously, as a mother, I was in my worst temperament at that time. Though I am a little docile now, so people need to be sensitized for this. This kind of a thing happened in India is acceptable today. I fought for it. If this kind of a thing would happen in any other country, say for example the USA, she would be behind bars for this kind of thing.
Right. And how has the response been since? We heard that the collector also called you and they helped out with getting your child the Aadhar card. So how has the community response been since?
So I am extremely, extremely thankful to the government. So I had not contacted the collector. The intervention came on its own. I'm very thankful that he is so aware of what is happening. I just simply tweeted about it. I put it up on my Instagram and Facebook, and many people joined, and it became a small movement. But he became aware of it. He called me his office, and he sent a staff of 4 people with all the machinery to my home very patiently. We did Shruti's eye scan. In about 4 to 5
Hmm.
trials, we finished the eye scan, the fingerprints,
Hmm.
and they were very empathetic towards Shruti. And now I wish that this kind of treatment should also be extended to other kids with special needs.
Right. And how has Shruti been since the incident? I mean,
Hmm.
one thing is that do incidents like this push children further into desolation, something that they already experience in their day-to-day lives?
So, as we say that ignorance is bliss,
Hmm.
Shruti doesn't understand what is happening around her so much. So she doesn't understand. So even when you're shouting at her, she thinks that you're playing with her, so she will smile. That is the innocence that the special child is filled with, and that is the beauty of being the mother of a special child. That they're always laughing and always full of innocence. They don't understand rudeness. They don't understand something which is not love.
Hmm. That's wonderful to hear. And has the bank approached you since for any help, for
So I
any?
got a call telling me
Hmm.
before I post कि आप ये पोस्ट हटा दीजिए मैडम, क्योंकि क्या है कि आप उसको माफ कर दीजिए क्योंकि वो बच्ची है उसको पता नहीं है. I was very surprised at this comment that are you hiring kids in your bank? I mean, then the money is at stake. So when you are talking about a bank employee, you cannot refer to a bank employee as a kid. They are responsible for the behavior that they are putting out to the public. They are responsible because they are representatives of the bank.
Hmm.
So you cannot just deny your duty and say that वो बच्ची है तो उसको माफ कर दीजिए. I think she's of my age only. So.
When Mojo Story contacted the IndusInd Bank, they said this: "We deeply regret the unpleasant incident. The intention of our employee was to apprise the parent about the technical challenge in scanning the retina. We had no intention of hurting any sentiments. We extend our unconditional apology to the parents and the child for the undesirable experience."
Right. And the bank manager and everybody there, they did not help you out when the whole
So
incident happened.
I told them that you must send a team at my home because this behavior is not tolerable. But no one came to my home. They only called me to remove the tweet, which I did
Okay,
not for
that's
sure.
right, right. That's brave of you to do that. Could you tell us about Shruti a little bit? We'd love to hear what her favorite music is, how she spends her days, and everything you love about her
Um,
as a mother.
yes. So Shruti was born with cerebral palsy. By the time she was 4 months old, we had done 4 brain surgeries on her. She's my second child. My first son is Yuvraj. Um, it is always very painful for a family to accept that God has given us a child who is a little special. But with time, once we accepted it, Shruti became not the cause of pain, but the cause of our happiness. She is the most beautiful, most innocent child. Of course, we are worried about her future. We are worried about what will happen. But then, as I said, that India has 70 lakh children with mental disorders, with cerebral palsy. So this is a huge number. And as a mother, as a parent, I always feel that India may there is no inclusive attitude. So whether it is a marriage function, whether they are birthday parties, special kids have always been excluded. वो उनको ऐसा एक कॉमन टर्म दे देते हैं कि पागल है. Not all kids are पागल. Not all kids are violent. In fact, certain people with cerebral palsy, I just had a beneficiary who has entered medical school. So not all kids with cerebral palsy cannot study. They can. So we need to create a lot of awareness. We need to create an inclusive environment. A little sensitivity, a little bit more patience is really, really required in India.
And sorry, as a parent, how difficult does it get for you when you try to spread all these messages on one hand, but on the other hand, your own child is has to suffer through uh, discrimination like this.
So, as a parent, I would say that there are two ways. One is you start thinking negatively and you get into depression yourself rather than taking care of the child. And second is you become a tigress and fight it out for your child. You must remain positive for your child. You must fight it out, and you must be able to help other kids whose families are maybe not supportive, whose husbands are not supportive. So I feel that
Right.
there are only two ways: either you fight it out or you die under it.
That's lovely to hear. Also, since you mentioned that there are 70 lakh children, and of course many others who are affected by mental issues, There was also a recent incident with the Indigo Airlines, if you recall, where a
Yeah,
child
that
with
was
autism,
that was
where a
also
child with
really bad.
autism, yeah, where he
Yeah,
was
I
not
read about
allowed
it.
to get on. Yeah, so I mean, how do you think as a nation we can battle this exclusivity of children with special needs?
I think that the main ingredient is because normal people are not interacting with special kids and for any occasion. So
Hmm.
I think education may you need to include, like there is an RTI Act which makes it
Hmm.
compulsory for the lower strata of the economy. The
Hmm.
people who can't afford to study with the rich.
Hmm.
Similarly, you should have people who are. I'm not saying that you put them in one classroom and they can study like the normal kids, but at least
Hmm.
lunch break में वो उनके साथ interact कर सकते हैं, games में
Hmm.
उनके साथ खेल सकते हैं. At an early age, if a child learns to accept that this is a special kid, needs to be treated, respected in a certain manner, then
Hmm.
when these kids grow up, then we'll have a society which will be equitable. Otherwise,
Right.
this problem is not going to go away.
Right, right. And could you tell us about your trust, the one that you run, and how they have been working with children with special needs?
Yes. So how I started working on this trust is I am coming from a business family, married into a business family. So working for a social cause was never and has never been on my mind. But then after Shruti was born, I used to take her for therapies. And lunch
Hmm.
break में क्या होता था? All of us mothers used to sit together and because parents are not allowed inside therapy
Hmm.
rooms. So we used to
Hmm.
have our lunch, and I used to see this one particular female. She used to get only chas on alternate days. So I just asked her casually, "Are you on a diet or what is it?" So she's telling me, "Madam, रोज रोज खाना खाएंगे, तो बच्चे की थेरेपी का पैसा कहाँ से आए?" So that statement really shook me. Then I came out and I told her, don't do this. I will sponsor for your child. So that's how it started. And I started sponsoring like 4, 5, 8, 10. When it crossed 10, my husband told me that, Shraddha, you are educated, you are a lawyer by
Hmm.
profession. Why
Hmm.
don't you, how many people will you have help from home like this? So set up an
Right.
NGO and do it well.
Hmm.
So I set up an NGO. I set up Madhuram 3 years ago. It took me
Hmm.
1 year to get the tax exemption, which is under the CSR ATG. So practically we worked for 2 years now, and I have sponsored
Hmm.
around 800 children with mental disorders already. And also we have launched a project called Stepathon, where I imported
Right.
these very, very high quality prosthetic legs from Germany.
Right. Hmm.
I talked to the customs department. They were very gracious. They waived off the
Hmm.
custom duty. And so one of this prosthetic leg starts from 1 lakh per leg and goes up to 3 lakh per leg. Today we have installed these legs in 98 people as of now.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
So yeah, and the target is very, very big for this year. But
That's
it's these kind of incidences that happen that really disturb me. Yeah.
of course. Of course. And lastly, I just want to know what you are expecting from the company now. I mean, do you think that they are answerable for the incident that occurred, or do you think that this is just something that they will pass the buck
So
on to somebody else?
first thing I expect is that they should come and speak about it.
Hmm.
Giving automated messages is not the way. They have not
Hmm.
spoken about it. They have not apologized about it. So that is not
Right.
done.
Hmm.
Secondly, they should enter their staff into a training program how to deal with special kids and disabled people. And
Right.
most important, I would like them to repent. So repent in a way, not financially or monetarily. I don't need that. But maybe,
Hmm.
we should have something like uh, they should hold a camp where they should do the Aadhar Card of 100 special kids.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
They
Hmm.
should
Hmm.
report what they've done.
Right. Right.
So that way it will benefit the kids also. Many
Right.
special kids don't have Aadhar Card because
Hmm.
they are not able to go through the eye scanner. This is
Right.
not done. There has to be some way to get them that right.
Is there some sort of a data on how many special kids do not get Aadhaar cards because of
I do
this?
not have the data, but
Hmm.
I know at least 70 kids myself here in Ahmedabad. It's a huge
Hmm.
number.
Right.
And I think that
And
now, because of
hmm.
what these IDFC people have done, they should come forward and they should hold a camp in Ahmedabad only for special kids. Especially that
Right.
girl. She should be the one
Hmm.
who should be giving the Aadhar cards.
Right. Right. I hope that such a creative intervention is made. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining us, Shraddha, and we're
Yes.
really sorry again for what your child went through. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.